We can get rid of all the crime in America overnight, just like that. And people ask how, Attorney Crump? Change the definition of crime. Of course. If you get to define what conduct is going to be made criminal, you can predict who the criminal is going to be.
It sounds like we're criminal, though.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Attorney Ben Crump saying that if we change certain laws in this country, you could eliminate crime overnight. It wouldn't be a big deal. And hey, if you do that, that's going to help the black community because there are certain laws that are out there on the books that are tailored to black existence. Now, this is a ridiculous thing to say, especially on a program that's geared toward trying to get the black male vote back more to the Democratic Party. Now, I know immediately you guys are going to be like, well, hey, ABL, the black community votes for the Democratic Party at a 90, 95% rate. What's the big deal? Why even do a thing like this? The vote's in the bag? Well, not quite so much. You see, there's a growing gap in between the men and the women in the community as far as voting patterns. Black women are still at about 95, maybe even over 95%, but black men are starting to dip below 80. Now that's becoming a problem for the Democratic Party. They rely on our vote to be very high, 95%. If it goes down to 80% as a collective, the men and the women, that's going to be a problem. And at a certain point, if the men are leading the charge to go the other way, then women may wind up following, and they can't have that. So they're doing little things like this. This program is a documentary called Black Men in America, something like that. Yeah, Black Men in America, wrote it 2024 on MS13 DNC. This is not, and I repeat, this is not an ad for them. I'm just saying where the particular clip came from. Now, we're going to look at a couple of clips. The first one is more about what you saw at the beginning with Ben Crump talking about how we can eliminate crime in the black community overnight just by changing the laws. Then we're going to get into a focus group from this same documentary where people are asking, hey, black men, why are you going the other direction? Why won't you stay here on our plantation, party, and keep voting for us? And their responses are pretty much, obvious things that anybody can predict. But if you want to see either clip, I will link to them in the description box. I tried to find the full documentary, but I cannot find it beyond the paywall, and I'm not going to pay for that. So if you guys have seen it, let me know what you think about the whole thing in the comments. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
We can get rid of all the crime in America overnight, just like that. And people ask how, Attorney Crump? Change the definition of crime. Of course. If you get to define what conduct is going to be made criminal, you can predict who the criminal is going to be.
It sounds like we're criminal, though.
Yeah.
Our existence is criminal.
But they made the laws that way. They made the law to criminalize our culture. To fit us. Black culture. And so when I...
Yes, that's Al Sharpton, of course. I'm not quite sure how old he is, but he's got to be up there in age. Then you have Ben Crump. These two guys right here, Tremaine Lee and Charles Coleman, these guys are the ones who are producing the documentary. And, of course, right here you have a rapper by the name of Benny the Butcher.
I think of Eric Garner, I always think of stuff like that. Lucy cigarettes.
I did nothing. We sitting here the whole time. Mind our business. What are you talking about? You watch me do what? Who did I sell cigarette to? Don't touch me, please.
Came over.
Not touch me.
Okay, we don't got to see this part right here.
Yeah, and then George Floyd was trying to buy cigarettes and so forth. So you have to think about.
Okay, he's trying to buy cigarettes with what? So are counterfeit $20 bills part of black culture? Is that what we do? Is that what black men do? Sell loose cigarettes and trying to pawn off $20 bills and get high on crack and stuff like that? Is that what the black experience is? Oh, excuse me, not crack, fentanyl. Is that the black experience you're trying to say to me, Ben Crump? Because I reject that notion. Never have I ever tried to smoke crack or fentanyl or anything like that. Never have I ever sold loose cigarettes. Never have I ever tried to pawn off a $20 bill to buy cigarettes in the store. Okay, so I reject that as being part of my quote unquote culture.
The profiling things that they come up with, the profilers for pretextual reasons. And it happens every day, Al. They will come and say, you can't wear baggy pants. Right. Make that a crime.
Right.
You can't have milk cartons in your yard. Right. Make that a crime.
Right.
Man, this is stupid because really what's going on, you're talking about just trying to remove some laws so therefore we won't have so much criminality. That's a bogus argument because what's happening right now in a lot of these urban inner city areas is that they are being soft on crime, and as a result, crime is increasing. So this is just illogical on its face. We don't have a problem with too much policing, too many laws. We got a problem with not enough policing and not enough laws and not enough enforcing of the laws and too many slaps on the wrist at best. That is a big problem in the community right now. Ever since the whole defund the police kerfuffle, we got 25%, 50% increases in homicide in a lot of these black areas across the country. So what are we saying here exactly, Mr. Ben Crump? You want some more ambulances to chase or nah? Now, let's go to the next thing here. This is from that same documentary. This is a focus group. Let's check this out. Okay, let's get some sound.
Black men. Is some appeal there for some black men with Trump? What is it?
Money. Yeah.
So in case you missed it, he's like, there's some appeal there with black men with Trump. What is it? And then the answer was money.
I mean, Donald Trump has a reputation of being the money man. So
I just think that Donald Trump, in spite of all the craziness he may have in his head, reading some of the things that he talks about with business, I can kind of agree with as far as business-wise, because I'm trying to grow my business a lot.
I'm gonna pause it right here because copyright concerns. I don't want to try to give me a flag. I know how MS-13 DNC is, and they don't want this black man talking about reasons why you should not vote for Joe Biden at all. They don't want that to happen. That's the whole point of their little documentary, is to prevent guys like me from going that direction.
A lot of people admire the persona, and they want to be him. They want to enjoy the perks that he has. He seems to always be able to circumvent the rules.
You're hearing that too, that there are some people in your orbit who are either voting for Donald Trump or considering it?
For sure. A lot of my friends are obviously my age, so we're a little younger. We've only voted once, for a president. And Trump is kind of all we know. And they're kind of Trump and Biden. They're like, well, we were broke with Biden. We weren't with Trump. And that's kind of.
It's simple. It's a very simple thing. There's no need to be a political scholar to understand that. Biden is not doing very good. People could talk about all these metrics and numbers they want, but look at the reality on the ground under Biden and look at the reality on the ground under Trump. It's much different. And the only blip on the radar for Trump was C-19, which impacted the entire world, not just the USA and not just President Donald Trump.
Kind of the only thing that I'm hearing over and over again is that, well, Trump, we had money. Well, okay, I hear you guys, but personally, morally, I couldn't see myself.
Morals? Anybody got time for no morals? Like, you can't eat a bag of morality. And what morality are you talking about? What did Trump do that's morally abhorrent? Okay, there's a few things Biden could have done. Young man right there with the earrings and whatnot, the nose ring, the Tupac or whatever. Your uncle probably got locked up under Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill. Okay, you're talking about morality, and Trump was the guy that freed him. So what are we saying? Okay, I'm just reading some of this right here. It says a group of black male voters told MSNBC why former President Trump appeals to them. So that's pretty much what's going on. Again, there's more. It's a whole documentary that they put out. It came out on this past Sunday at like 9, I think, Eastern time, 9 p.m. I haven't checked it out, but I think I'm going to check it out. I'm going to have to pay and bite the bullet to pay for some random subscription service I'll probably forget to turn off before I get hit for $100 or whatever. I may have to bite the bullet and pay and then watch it and give you guys my full account of what's going on. But as I close, I want to say this. Black men are just men at the end of the day. And we think logically, okay, if this guy had the country going in the right direction, I was doing well, I'm getting money, things are secure, there's no foreign wars. That guy is doing better than this guy who has us in foreign wars, spending a bunch of money, the migrant crisis out of control, crimes up, all the negative metrics are up and all the positive metrics are down. So when you look at them just side by side, who's doing better? Why would I vote for the guy that's doing worse? For what reason? Because of how I feel? Men don't get into the feelings. That's for women. We don't do that, which is why, again, there's a big divide between the black men and the black women when it comes to voting. And with most women, it's the same way. Women are going to be more feelings wise, and that's okay. I'm not trying to say anything negative about women. That's totally fine. They are better at feelings than men. That's the truth. Men are better at logic than women. It's okay. We have our strengths and weaknesses, and these things are the reason why many of us are going to the other side and we're not going to come back. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what you saw here in this clip? The Black Men in America wrote it 2024. How about Ben Crump? Yo, if we just say that ain't no such thing as crime, then nobody's a criminal. How about the voters who said why they are looking at Trump over Biden or vice versa? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. A lot of what is being spoken about in these clips is just kind of common sense. Okay, if you don't enforce laws and you remove some of the laws on the books, you're going to have more crime. You're going to have more criminality, even if it's not classified as criminality. You're going to have a lower quality of life. Who wants to live that way? And then talking about Trump or Biden, if one guy is better than the other and it's obvious and you're able to see the performance of both, why would you vote for the guy who does worse? It doesn't make any sense. I'm not trying to hear anything about feelings and all this, emotional, flowery stuff. Like, let's get to the money. Let's get to the success. Point blank, period. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.